And we're live. Welcome, everyone, to Doc Tales, a Fisherman's Story. Tonight's guest is Mr. Chad Fields, a.k.a. the Chad, the Ginger Ninja. And I just found out he has another nickname, too, but we'll let him tell you that one. Good evening, Chad. How are you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Tongue. How you doing, buddy? Miss Jody, my number one fan.
Great. I'm doing great. Good to have you on.
Thank you.
I heard Jody's your number one fan.
I heard that too. I'm wondering if she'll still be my number one fan after tonight, or if she'll move on.
No, I'll still be number one.
We'll find out in an hour, I guess.
That's right.
So how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. I was actually able to get off work on time, and I laid down across the bed for a little while because this is kind of past my bedtime normally. So I'm getting older, Tom, and I'm having struggles staying awake this late.
Oh, tell me about it. I know that struggle well. Oh, we appreciate you coming up with us.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I will definitely already apologize. I've got some sinus headache stuff going on, and it's driving me nuts. So if I'm sniffling, I apologize.
But we'll try to keep it to an hour.
All right.
That way you can get in bed early.
Yep. Get you all tucked in. See, we'll fix you a hot toddy or something.
Hot toddy, there we go.
All right.
So what do you got for me?
Well, we always like to try to get people talking about stuff that they may not relinquish in other places. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Chad before you were the YouTube sensation?
What, YouTube sensation?
Let's go way back, back when you was in school. What was you like in high school?
Well, right now Tom's done embarrassed me with this YouTube sensation mumbo jumbo. Wow. Let's see. I was born on a cold winter's day. No. Really just growing up. I started out, fishing as a kid with my dad, and my mom and dad were separated when I was younger, so I had a stepdad as well, and he really got me into fishing. His side hit that side when I got a little bit older. So spent a lot of time fishing with those guys. More being their bait catching guy.
Yeah.
While they were fishing, I was catching the bluegills and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the kid, you love it. You sitting there reeling in bluegill after bluegill.
Yeah.
But then probably, I think it was 8th grade, I got into sports. Started playing football at our middle school, and then that carried over into the high school game. Obviously, I'm a offensive lineman, defensive lineman kind of guy. I bet you could never would have guessed that one.
How'd you pay for quarterback?
I tried out for quarterback, but I bet I couldn't throw more than like 20 yards. I did try out for running back, but they said my legs were too short, and it took me 2 or 3 minutes to get 10 yards. So it was what it is. It is what it is. But I could block people pretty well. Like I said, I was a pretty decent lineman. And then I also wrestled in high school. Not the WWE, Tom. I know you thought I was going to say that I wrestled Hulk Hogan or something, but I did real wrestling.
Yeah, I wanted to know what your. And did you have a nickname of your own back then? Or
I did.
That they called you, and when you were wrestling?
When I was in high school, everybody knew me as Big Red. There was literally hardly anybody that called me by my name. It was so bad, in fact, when we got to our senior year and they do those senior superlatives like, best athlete and best this, most this, people were like, or it started at homecoming. And they were like, I didn't even see your name on the list. And I'm like, do you even know my name? So by the end of the year, when they did the senior superlatives, I made sure everybody knew who my name was. So, but yeah, I was voted most popular my senior year. So
wow,
Mr. Charming here.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I was a quiet, shy kid that,
Yeah.
didn't talk a whole lot in elementary school and the first part of middle school, but sports kind of opened me up,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of a social butterfly back then.
As far as the wrestling, what
Yeah.
what does that actually do? Is that a year-round sport?
No, in high school, that's a winter sport. So,
Okay.
football is your fall sport. And then, while the kids that can't wrestle are playing basketball,
Yeah.
we're wrestling. So
Yeah.
it was a winter sport.
And how did you do in the wrestling?
Pretty good, until about halfway through my senior year. I started out the year 18-0, and I went up to this tournament up in Ohio, and I had a kid get a hold of me that was bigger, faster, stronger. He picked me up, turned me, flipped me over, and landed me right on the side of my shoulder and neck, and separated my shoulder.
Oh.
So I was out for about a couple weeks with that, and when I came back, I just wasn't the same, and ended up. I still made it to the state tournament that year, but I just wasn't in the shape to do anything with it. So went 0-2 that year, and in the state tournament. So never did really well. And then after I graduated, I started coaching football and wrestling and stuff like that. And still competing in wrestling as well. It was a summer. I coached at the high school, but then I also helped run a summer AAU program with wrestling, not football. And we took kids. We did fundraisers and stuff, and we took the kids one year out to Santa Fe, New Mexico, for a big national wrestling tournament, and then another year down to what's that place? Shreveport, Louisiana. Okay. So the 2 years that I got to go, that's what we did. And I bet you won't believe this, Tom. You won't mess with me after this, but I am actually a national wrestling champion, Tom.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Yeah. I used to compete in 3 different styles. There's what folk styles in your high school, and then when you get into the AAU, you get more into like the collegiate type wrestling. You got like folk or freestyle, Greco-Roman wrestling, which you'll see in like the Olympics and stuff like that. And then they had one called they have another one called Sambo, which is a Russian martial arts, and that's actually what I took gold in down there in New Mexico. It's a submission jacket fighting.
Congratulations.
That was a long time. You're talking about glory days now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have a certain determination and drive to make it in sports. Not everybody makes it to states or nationals.
You do.
I mean, that's a big thing. Just even make it to state and high school is a big thing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sports like that, especially individual sports, it's, like you said, there's a drive and determination, and that that you either have skill or you have heart.
Yes.
I was okay. Yeah. I wasn't like, the best wrestler of all time. I just had a will that you weren't going to beat me unless you were really, really good. Right. Yeah. So sometimes that heart separates the two. So
yeah.
It was
Has that carried over into your fishing?
I think it's maybe it toughened me up. Especially like when you think about right now when it's really cold and you have to really battle through some of the elements or out in the heat, where I could just go, man, I want the air conditioner or I want that heater. I can say, no, I'll give it a little while and tolerate some more. But I think that the competitive part of it though is definitely something that it adds. Whether it be competitive against, like say, you guys in a tournament or just competitive against myself. And that's more what I always was, is trying to make myself better, not, prove other people wrong. Right.
Yeah.
That I wasn't I wasn't the tallest. I wasn't the most muscular kid in high school. If you looked at me, you probably would have been like, this kid's going to get beat in about 5 seconds. But, I've had people that were 6'6" and looked like bodybuilders, and I went out and pinned them in 10 seconds. And it just depends on your determination.
You had the drive and the guts to do it.
Yeah, I definitely had the gut.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Take a moment so we can talk, see who's in chat tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, everybody in chat. Let's see. I'm working on a phone, so I got to scroll up here. Sorry if my hand gets in the way. It's rolling. The chat is rolling.
I bring out the big crowd.
Geez, I didn't see this one. Yeah. I say fish in the Mid-South, want to be outdoors. James Kirkpatrick's in the house. It's all mine. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Roger from Muskrat Adventures. Mark, Catfish and Crappie. Let's see. Annette Morgan, hello. Palmetto Cats, welcome, Kevin. Backlash Fisherman, hey, ladies and gents. Wabash Nate, that's a new name for me. Welcome.
He's in my area.
Green Machine. Okay. Green Machine, Dan is in the house. Cooking with Mike Chavez. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Mike Chavez.
Let's see. Art from One Ton. Hello, Art. Danny Stone's in the house. Melissa, it looks like she's throwing links already. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate you. There's Betty. Betty's in the house. Chadwick, my brother from another mother.
Well, Betty.
Welcome, Betty.
You're lucky.
Rondell Perry's in the house.
I was about to drive to her house. I seen that she's cooking tonight.
Oh,
Betty Jean can cook.
She having crappie? She having crappie for dinner?
No, she was prepping for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's been going on here for a week. Michelle's been dropping videos as she goes through the process of putting together the dinner.
Nice.
It's been pretty cool watching her. Say, Brian Beast's in the house. Big Bill's veteran catfishing.
That's
He
my buddy
says,
right
Big
there.
Red.
I've actually
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I've known Big Bill since I was 17 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
Van's in the house. Ms. Catfish Regulators. Welcome, Lisa. Lance, the Hawaiian Fisherman's in the house. So we got 32 people watching. Hope I didn't leave anybody out.
Did you get Valerie?
No,
Seen her in there.
did not see Valerie.
Rondell Perry.
Christian Tellier in the house. Fat Boy Fishing.
That would have been a good name.
NKR Fishing and Outdoors. Chucky Morgan's in the house. All right, I think that catches us up. Sorry if I missed anybody. If I see you, I'll call you out.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening. And welcome to the life of the gentleman.
So we talked a lot about
30 awesome people. That's great.
what you did in high school.
Yeah.
So then you went to college for a little while.
I went there for a little while.
When did he come into the picture?
Oh, you want to hear the D story, huh?
Uh-huh.
So I started working at DHL right out of high school. Well, probably about 4 months after high school. Because when I was in high school, I played sports, went to school, and I actually worked a full-time job my senior year. And then right after I graduated, I quit there and then did some temp work for a couple months. But then I was going to start college, and they didn't want to work around my school schedule, so I started working at where I'm working now at DHL. And I worked out on the ramp and loading planes, loading boxes, all that kind of stuff for a few years, and became friends with her sister out there. And DHL decided they were going to shut down the operation down here, and they were going to move it up to Wilmington, Ohio. So Dee actually hired me into the office where I worked worked for about 15 years after that, and we've all became friends. And before anybody thinks that she was taking advantage of her employees, she hired me, and in about, I don't know, 6 months, year later, she got transferred over to one of the other groups. And like I said, all of us were hanging out all the time after work and stuff like that, and we just started seeing each other. And then the kicker, after I'm trying to think, I can't remember how long we were together, about 2 years. I decided I'm going to propose to Dee. And back then, we were both college football fans.
Yeah.
Big time college football. I was a big Penn State Nittany Lions fan, and she was a Michigan Wolverines fan because all of her little boys in her group loved Michigan, so she had to follow the guys. She'll say that's not the truth, but that's the truth. Okay, now she admits at least. So she got us tickets to go up to Michigan Stadium, the big house. And I thought, that's the perfect time. I'm going to propose to her up there. So I got my ring, and I'm figuring out how I'm going to do it and all that kind of stuff. And we get up there and we're walking around looking at all the souvenir stuff. And I'm like, I don't know when or how I'm going to do this. And I've got the ring in my pocket, and I end up buying this lanyard. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy this lanyard. I'm going to put it on her and do this and that. Well, we bought the lanyard. We go over by the gates to sit down against the thing, and the ring falls out of my pocket right by her foot, and she never notices it. And I reached out really quick and grabbed it, and I'm like, oh my God. So I get it, and I put it on this lanyard, and I shove it back in my pocket, and we finally go in. We get our seats and stuff, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, I gave her the lanyard. I said, "Hey, here's your lanyard, whatever." And she takes the lanyard from me and puts it in her pocket with the ring on it. And I'm like, well, that didn't work. I'm sitting there for a few minutes, and I'm like, I really think you're gonna lose that lanyard. I think you ought to take it out and put it around your neck.
Yeah.
You gotta tell them what I was thinking.
Oh, I'm going to. She's like, why is he so freaking worried about this daggone lanyard? But she takes it out, and she puts this lanyard all over, around her neck, and then she's still just looking around. The ring's dangling off her neck and everything else, and I'm like, this is going on for like 5-10 minutes. The whole thing. I'm sitting there going, probably longer than that. I'm like, what are you that freaking blind? Yeah, she was in the big house. And I don't remember how, but I finally said something, and she was like, what? And she looks down and sees it, and I'm like, I look at her, I was like, will you marry me? I'm like, I've worked this hard just to get you to notice ring. I ain't working hard on the rest of this. So, yeah, that was in, 2008? Yep, and we ended up getting married and had our baby girl, Alyssa.
Who won?
Well, how sweet.
Who won the game?
I don't want to talk about that, Tom. It might have been a sign.
Dee always wins.
He always wins. She's always better.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
It just cracks me up that how hard it was, especially after dropping the ring in front of her feet on the sidewalk outside. For her to be that oblivious to everything.
Yeah. Now, did Jens fish back then, or did that come later?
I fished. She would every once in a while go with us, go with me. She wasn't super into it. She'd go, down to the little lakes and stuff, especially when Alyssa was little, here and there. And she never understood why me and my buddy Bill, when we went fishing together, we always hit 2 or 3 Walmarts on the way there, and we'd be gone for. When I said a half day, that meant like 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
But now, in the last couple of years, she's really gotten into a lot more, especially with the boat.
Yeah.
And learning different methods and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and getting her on some of the bigger fish. That's when it really clicked for her. So
Yeah.
that weight when you're just not catching them,
Hmm.
I think the weight's a little bit easier now because she knows that there's always a chance for that bigger one to come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to hunger for that big fish once you get
Yeah.
one.
Well, I had the opportunity to talk with Dee at Patriot James tournament while you were up getting going up to get the Jeep so you could pull the boat out. And I said, "Come on!" I said, "Tell me now, Dee, who caught them fish?" And she got this ear to ear smile and just it lit
Now-
up. And I said, "I don't even have to say no more. I knew."
Now, there's a kind of a reason for that. Basically, she said that I wasn't allowed to catch anything, especially because up until that day, she had never caught a flathead in her life, and
Wow.
I let her. We had this standing thing where she catches the first fish because she was getting superstitious that if I caught a fish, we didn't catch anything the rest of the day. That's because that's what happened one time, and I let her catch the first fish, and she ended up landing a 37-pounder, so 37-pound blue cat that day, something like that.
Wow.
And then it was kind of like, well, I'm catching them all. Then she finally let me catch one, and I caught a 34-pound flathead, and she was mad.
Oh, I bet.
After that, I was not allowed to catch a fish until she caught a flathead. And guess what? The last fish that we ended up catching that day was a 31.5-pound flathead that she caught.
Well,
Wow.
It was a long
But now
day.
you didn't get to weigh either one of them, right?
No. Both the flatheads were in the 31 and 34. We had a 37-pound blue and a 40-pound blue that day.
Wow. That was awesome. We saw you guys. We were back behind you, a little further away from the ramp. We could see you guys going back. We were anchored up most of the time. We did have one decent fish on that just came unbuttoned out in the middle of open water. I don't know how it came off, but we weren't on any big fish at all. That was my first time down there as well.
Yeah.
So you guys did great for your first time there. That was awesome.
Yeah, and it was what's weird is where we started. We actually started the morning, and we were drug about a mile and a half, and then we went up further and didn't catch anything, and then we went back down where we started to end the day, and that's where we caught the flatheads. Is in the same area that we started and caught those 2 big blues. So it was like within about a mile stretch is where we caught most of our fish.
Wow. That's awesome.
We were only about a mile away from dock because my little boat, I was having issues, and turned out it was just that I'm too voluptuous for my boat, and the props size would not, propel my boat to get up on plane with the weight that I have on the boat. So I fixed it later on, but I was lucky to get 7 mile an hour out of my boat back then.
We've had a few more people come in and chat. Outdoors with Big Matt, hello. And then Art was already in here. The Reef Robber, he's here.
Did you say Uncle Josh?
It's all mine.
Yeah.
I seen Uncle Josh in here
David
somewhere.
Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I saw somebody else.
Lisa
Reef Robber.
she loved your story. And Melissa said, "Thank you for sharing your proposal."
You're welcome.
Big Bill's veteran catfishing, not Chad's team. He must be on D's side.
What? What do you say?
Not Chad's team. Hooks and Hammocks D is awesome.
Yep.
Hmm.
So are you going to go back to Wiley this coming season?
The way it sounded, I might have to go by myself and prove that I can fish. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're definitely planning on going back down next year.
Team Snagging Whiskey.
Yeah, I heard him.
Yeah.
He mentioned the date tonight. I think it's the 17th of April this year.
Yeah, I think I have it in my calendar. We're going to try to spend more time. We got down there the day before, tried to do some bait fishing, and that didn't work very well. And then we fished the tournament Saturday and went home Sunday morning. So, well, I think we're going to try to spend a few more days down there next year.
You had a few
Cool.
questions in chat.
Yeah.
Palmetto said, meanwhile, the rest of us would motoring all around the lake. And then your question was from Lance McCouguy, will Chad ever fish in a kilt?
Why not? Just
And then-
you all just better be very mindful, as I'm true Irish, actually in part Scottish, and if it gets windy out there, you might see something you don't want to see.
David, I'm feeling a lot better, as you can tell. Mark from Catfish and Crawfie. Besides me, who is Chad's favorite YouTuber?
Well, besides Betty Jean, besides my wife, I don't know. Probably Keith from Fishing and Stuff, or Lyle. Those would be two of my top guys.
Yeah. I always say you at least 5 or 6.
Just because
it's hard
Lyle,
to narrow it down.
It
It's hard to narrow it down to 1 or 2.
Well, it is, and the community keeps growing. Favorite, entertainment guy to watch on YouTube, anything fishing wise, is Keith. And we did get to meet him down there at Wiley as well, and he is a true, genuine person. But Lyle's kind of the guy that got us all watching a lot of this. Him and Chris Souders. It depends on what you want to watch. Are you looking for this kind of show? Or are you looking for fishing entertainment, fishing knowledge? What are you looking for? There's a lot of it, and there's a lot of people that do different things well. I like a lot of people, and I like what they do.
Hooks and Hammocks. Who used to be Chad's favorite fishing buddy from Indiana, who is shortish, involved with a beautiful redhead wife?
Right, I think he might be talking about the guy that traded me in for another Kentuckian, and I haven't even heard from this guy in a month or so because of it. Oh, I know. He used to call me every other week, saying, "Hey, we're going to fish this weekend," or what you got going on. Every once in a while, he'd just be like, "Hey, just calling to check in and make sure you're good." Yeah, I don't even get that no more. Now he's big time.
Yeah. And somebody had posted, "Who's your number 1 fan?"
Well, obviously you, Jody.
People trying to claim that now after I did that.
I seen that, and it's prompted another tournament idea of a number 1 fan tournament. I just don't know the rules on that one yet.
Okay. And Melissa posted you had some merch to sell, so she's got that link out there.
I have a Teespring account. I haven't really done anything with my Teespring account in probably 6-8 months, if not more. There is some stuff on there, though.
Okay.
I actually just got in my Fishing with the Chad coffee mug about a week and a half ago.
And I just got my 99-cent payment for that. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. You're welcome. I've had the Angry Fisherman mug for I don't know how long now, forever.
At least I know who your favorite bait shop person was. That's okay.
Yeah. Now,
that was the fad then. That was the thing to have.
Yeah.
It was.
I'm sorry. I want to know how you got the idea for the couples tournament and how you was able to come up with the online tournament idea anyway. What brought that? How'd you come up with that?
Actually, you missed a couple crosses fishing. Betty Jean Cross.
Okay.
we were all messaging. We were messaging back and forth, and she had an idea of her and Dee versus me and her husband. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm not getting my butt kicked by you two.
Mhm.
So, and I was like, what about couple versus couple? And then I was like, well, let's do a tournament. And I was talking to Dee about it, and we walked out here in the backyard, set the tripod up, and we did a call out, and that was just the start of it. Was like, hey, if do you guys think you could beat us? You know, I didn't think we would lose because I had Dee on my team,
Yeah.
but it was just more of a fun thing, right? It was
Mhm.
we can use StreamYard now to get so many people on here, and just have a lot of fun. Have a lot of fun doing it. It wasn't no money to be made off of it. No entry fees or anything like that. It
Mhm.
was all fun.
Yeah.
Bragging rights, basically. Who
Right.
was the
Mhm.
power couple? I guess you could say.
Yeah. It was an awesome idea, and just look how many people use it now and go with it. I mean, I use it on Thursday nights. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
a great idea.
And I'm not monetized. And I definitely wasn't back then. I probably had 500 subscribers back a year ago or whatever. And I just took it as an opportunity because I'm one of them people I don't want to ask for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, like I put my PayPal in the descriptions and stuff, but it's buried, not that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
For channel support. But I was like, you know what? That's what we'll do with these. And we started the very first one. We made it about charity.
Yeah.
And I think
Right.
we raised
Yep.
$385. I think it was the very first one for charity. And I was like, I didn't think we'd get $5. I was like, people are like, what are you talking about? So we made some money off of it. And then, there's always, you hear tournaments like Bama Blues down on Wheeler and stuff like that. So I was like, let's do Winter Blues. We'll do another one here in a couple months and start trying to get some more tournaments going. And then we raised 1,500 during Winter Blues for charities. Second tournament. So,
Mhm.
and then just work got so freaking busy this year that I wasn't able to do as many as I had planned. I have some ideas, so for some future ones, it just work and everything else, and trying to put out content. That's why I don't put out content. Is half the time by the time I get out there, I'm like, I just want to fish.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to set everything up and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm. It is
Bad
a
or I
little
just don't catch
difficult.
fish.
Yeah. It's hard to fish and run something.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
But
But you got a lot of people coming on now, like Freddie's. I mean, that can host. You can
yeah,
trust him. He's got a great voice. I mean, great personality. So it could open you up to do more things.
it definitely can, and that's what's been nice. Docker, he would always step in and help. Mark and Lyle always, hey, if you need us,
Mm-hmm.
we'll jump in, even if you just need a break or if you need us to host a day.
Yeah.
We fished the last day of the couples tournament, and Mark hosted that day for us. Stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely nice when you got people that are able to do what you would want them to do for you and do it well. And like you said, now we have Mr. Freddie coming
Mm-hmm.
into the scene, which I'm not sure if you got to meet him down there, Tom, but yeah, we got to meet him down there at Wiley. I got to meet him.
No. Nope.
Now, is there a bromance with you and Freddie?
Yeah, he's secretly in love with me.
I get that because he stalks you. And he tries to take number one fan away from me.
Oh,
But
Lord.
that's where young Matt was at the tournament.
All this jealousy over this.
Is that where you become friends with him, Matt? Was at the tournament?
I met him. It's funny because if you hear like Stan, when he first came into the community, he was kind of like he was in the chat, but
Mm-hmm.
to be on live, he was real shy and timid. That's Freddie down at he said hi to people, but he kind of stood in the back, right? You didn't really, you really didn't get a chance to talk to him a whole lot because he was taking it all in.
Yeah.
But he started coming in to the chats more, and he's talking, and now look at him. He's very well spoken, and he's got a good sense of humor about him, and people like it. People like him.
Yeah, he's very likable. And,
Yep.
you're
Yep,
real
very
close
like
to all your friends. It's almost like in their family,
That's
Mark
right.
and everybody.
Yeah.
So it's nice, you can depend on each other.
So are we going to sneak away and go fishing after Thanksgiving dinner? No. Two reasons. One, I got to work Friday, but I got a show to do tomorrow night.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be doing just like we did last year. I have been scrolling and checking out different websites and trying to find any deal I can find that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, I already see all that on Facebook, but there might be some that they might not follow or never see.
Mhm.
I get all kinds of sponsored ads on Facebook now, so I found some that I've never even heard of, but it's like, yeah, well, I check them out and see if they're legit or not, and they seem to be. And I've even found a couple fishing charters that are having discounts for the next year, and so I
Wow.
think that's what it kind of when you're looking for show ideas, when you're doing this every week, and
Mhm.
you're like, what am I going to do this week? What am I going to do this week? And last year it was like, you know what? Let's just bring a list of deals that keep them all in one centralized spot, and if you guys want to go check them out, there they are.
Yeah. Now, what time is that? A certain show, Aaron? A time that comes on?
It'll be on the bait shop at 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel, Fishing with the Chad.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's going to run just the hour slot?
Yeah, we're going to try to keep it to an hour because Lyle and Mark on Panfish
Mhm.
Nation go live right after us, and we may go over a few minutes.
Mhm.
But I definitely tried not to go too far over on that, just to let them guys get started because they're a little bit older than I am, and they get cranky if they got to stay up
Mhm.
too late.
Yeah, they have to keep their schedule.
They like it a certain
Yeah.
way.
Now, I won't be on after
Well, let me ask.
Mark and Lyle, but I'll be on again next Thursday, and it'll be the final week because a lot of people had to drop out last week for the weather. But
Yeah.
the next Thursday we'll have some drawings and stuff, and it'll start at 10 o'clock, run to 2 as usual. So
Now, can you give us a hint? Did you find any site that's having Abu Garcias on sale? Because so far every site I've been to, they exclude the Abu Garcias
I have not found anything that
from
good.
the sales.
Yep. I'd say for the most part, everything's 10 to 30% off of this and that, or everything besides. They don't, or it's tackle supply shops that don't carry that. They don't sell that kind of stuff on there or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did find some good deals on if my wife was watching on depth finders for Black Friday sale. So
Oh,
I might have to hold on to
very
those.
nice.
I might have to see what the money looks like with the wife and see if I need to withhold that information or not.
yeah, Betty and
Well,
Chad
I've
want
already.
to tell about your recent trip to Alabama. Betty
Oh,
and Chad wants you
that
to talk about your recent trip to Alabama.
that was pretty awesome. So let's go back a little bit. We went up to Mendota in the springtime, and right after Mendota, Betty asked me. She's like, "Hey, we're looking at going to Bama in September. Would you guys be interested? Do a couples weekend?" And I said, "Sure, when?" And she said, "September 2nd through something." I was like, "You got to be freaking kidding me!" Dee's birthday is September 4th. She's like, "You got to go," you know. And I'm like, "Let me see if we can get off work." And then, I told Dee, I was like, see if these dates are available. Take that Thursday, Friday, and then that whole following week off. We'll do something nice for your birthday. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I'm trying to play it off.
Yeah.
And soon as, I'm the manager of my group, so I basically do whatever I want. But she has a lot of people to compete with, and she got it off work. And as soon as I told Betty, the plan started going together. We started asking different people to do send us a 10-second clip wishing her happy birthday. We put this big video together. and we had to keep this a secret for like 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
And the morning that we were getting ready to leave, I'm trying to keep Dee in the house because Betty is getting off the interstate and pulling up into our house, in front of our house with her boat and everything else. And I'm literally making her sit in her chair, and I'm doing like a photo shoot with her, and I'm like, now look this way. I'm like, now here, I want to do a video. Where do you think we're going?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I fixed the curtains where she couldn't see out, but there was about a quarter inch. Let me fix this real quick. There was like a little quarter-inch gap. And if you ever seen Betty and Brandon's boat, there is no mistaking who it is. They pull past the house, and she's like, Betty! And she gets up and about knocks me over going out the door. And then they get out of the truck and stuff, and they come over, and Betty hands her phone and shows her the video, and Dee just sat there like crying. She's like, "Oh my God!" And because it ends, and it's Doc Lang asking her to come down and stay and fish with him and try to get on some blue cats, big old blue cats.
Wow.
So that was pretty awesome experience.
Yeah, very nice. Nicely done.
Yeah, thanks to Betty for making me look like husband of the year right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched that. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, it was really good.
So did y'all get on any big blues?
Excuse me. I can't remember how big the one D comp was. It was 30 or something like that. I'd have to ask her. I can't remember. I have the video out of it. It's her birthday. It was her birthday blue. But then Betty and Brandon had to show us up down there, and I think Brandon caught a 47, a 54, and then Betty landed at 80-pounder.
Yeah.
While I was actually on Mark's show that night.
Yeah. Now I know you're feeling under the weather. If you need to go, just let us know.
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
Like I said, I apologize if I sniffle. I've got the sweats and stuff still a little bit, but
it's okay. Just
I'll be all right.
if you need to go, just let us know. We'll be all right.
All right. Miss D says that was my second best birthday present ever. My Jeep is still my favorite of all time.
Yeah, that was her big birthday present last year. Is her milestone birthday, what we'll call it, and I decided, she's always let's us kids have what we want. So I told her, and we went down, and she wanted a new Jeep. She actually wanted a like one of the SUV ones. I don't know what they're called, but she got in it. She's like, I don't like these. I was like, I told you you'd like one of these. Look at this. And then she's like, oh, can I test drive this? And she found that Jeep Wrangler, and it was over after that. Let's see. I love Jeep too. Do what?
You go mudding in it or anything, or she just liked driving around in it? In the Jeep.
I couldn't hear the first part.
Did you go mudding in the Jeep, or she just like riding around in one?
No, not yet. Those are a little too expensive to begin with. The Rubicons.
Yeah.
To do too much yet with it, and let her get it, because she's one of the people like I would never put a sticker on a vehicle, whatever. So I think once she gets past that original shock of that kind of stuff, I think she'll be okay to do some different things with it. No, Betty.
Mr. Duggar said that's cool beans, Chad. That's a get out of spouse jail card for the future.
I should be like, jail free forever. I mean, look at these back-to-back birthdays. You got a Jeep Rubicon and then a Wheeler Wilson trip.
Yeah.
Can't beat
Well,
that.
I know how it goes with we bought a Jeep when my truck broke down this year. We got a Grand Cherokee Limited. And the first time that I put my rods in the back, I was fishing with, I believe it was Art and Josh and Aaron. And
Yeah.
Michelle gave me the warning when I was leaving. So if you come home and there's one speck of dirt, any water or any fish scales in the back of my Jeep, I'm coming for you all.
Well,
so I make sure when I'm done with it that I'm scooping everything out, making sure it's clean, making sure I can pass inspection when I get home.
well, you're doing better than I am, Tom. 'Cause I'll be honest. In the springtime when the Ohio River flooded, the creek where I would launch at was so high that normally when your boat ramps come down like this,
Mhm.
like at a nice little angle, I literally had to launch the boat on the flat part of the landing because it's a slow
Mhm.
grade and then drops off.
Yeah.
I literally had the Jeep about 30 feet back into the water to get the boat off of the um,
Wow.
trailer, and
Huh.
my truck wasn't doing so hot back then. So I was taking the Jeep everywhere with pulling the boat and that kind of stuff. Plus, it's better in gas mileage, and I let her know that I had the Jeep up to the door frame in the water, and she was like, "You better not take my Jeep down there like that again." I'm like, "Consider it done."
Oh. I ran into that the last time when I went fishing. They had the water drop, and I
Yeah.
backed out farther, and I kept going farther, and I finally just pulled back out and went to another boat dock. I couldn't get back far enough to get that pontoon off.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm not getting out here and getting my truck stuck. It died here for some reason, and so I just put it in drive and pulled back out.
Yeah. Normally, I don't with my truck. I don't have that. It probably would have been a little bit better because it sets a little higher. I would have had that
Yeah.
decline. A little bit more of a decline on my truck.
Mhm.
But yeah, that Jeep sets the hitch sets pretty low. So
Yeah.
yeah, it took a little while, and I kept backing and backing, thinking, it's going to go down. And I'm looking, and all I see is water in front of me. I'm like, good Lord, how far do I got to go back here?
I'm like, uh-oh. Where'd that come from?
Yeah. Wow.
So fun times.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina Real Screamers just came in. Say hello to everybody. And Laura the Explorer. Good evening, all. Hello, Laura Ann. Welcome.
Hey, Lori.
All right. So, what's in your future, Chad? What do you see going on for the site or tournaments that you got in the back of your mind, or anything you want to share?
I mean, well, we got the Winter Blues coming up. We'll do the Winter Blues in January. Might look at doing another panfish tournament more in the spring if things don't get crazy like they did this year. This year, that's when I originally planned to do the panfish tournament. Was in the spring, but that didn't quite work out for me. But I do have a couple more catfishing tournaments that I've got ideas for. One will be the Bumping for Biggins. So looking forward to trying to put that together. Even though Roger likes to remind me that I don't know how to bump. Whatever, pal.
He had a birthday. He was wanting to know why
Right.
he didn't get nothing for his birthday Sunday. Muskrat?
Sunday. Oh, probably because I said, "You got a happy birthday on Facebook, dude." I literally laid on the on the couch and couch or the bed all day Sunday.
Yeah.
So again, I haven't been feeling the greatest the last few days, so it's coming and going, but doing a little bit better. But yeah, you didn't get anything but a happy birthday on Facebook, bro. Sorry.
Brian B is trying to start with you. He's saying your goal is to beat him.
Please.
The only thing Brian B can beat somebody in is eating a box of little Debbie cakes.
I think I could put a hurting on him on that too. But I let him win 1v1
Mhm.
because I had to get my hair done the following week, and I wouldn't have been able to face Creole. And he thinks he's God's gift now. I mean,
I know.
everybody gets lucky every once in a while. Which you guys didn't see during that tournament, Brian B. I had to put my screen on where you couldn't see me, and I had to wave that tugboat in. I was like, get in front of me, get in front of me. I'm going to beat this guy if you don't. And I was like, I feel bad because you know how he is. The Potomac guys, they're all crybabies. They ain't like us, good rivers where you actually have to work for your fish.
Yeah, I know. You have to work for your fish here. You just don't toss a line out and hit one in the head.
I know.
We've had some more people come in. Rico fishing 336. Aaron Instigator's in here. And Mike's fishing home.
Tom, I got something to admit, by the way. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about this after you guys asked me about coming on here. So I don't even know how long ago it was, but I got this Facebook request, friend request from somebody a long time ago, and it's this Tom Owens guy, and he's holding this bass, and I'm like, is this guy real? And who's this bass guy that wants to be my friend? And I swear, you get so used to everybody's scream name. LG Bass, LG Bass, LG Bass. It didn't dawn. It took me probably 6 months at least to realize that was you. That had sent me a friend request and had commented on some things. I was like, this bass fisherman guy's crazy, wanting to be my friend. I think he's stalking us. I can't believe how long it took to realize it was you.
Wow. Well, you did accept it, right?
Oh, I did accept. I just couldn't believe because I could always remember, you holding that bass up for the longest time in your picture, and I'm like, and finally it dawned on me because when somebody said one day, thank you. I think my sister is messaging my wife, telling her what to do.
Why? Because I can't be sweet on
my own. Because I'm also getting messages and they're popping up because she knows I'm not feeling great. So,
Jeremy's Tournament Cats is in there. Tinkerbell, Avid. So you're getting quite a few people in to watch you. Wanting to hear your story.
They're here to watch you guys. They're probably here to watch you guys make fun of me.
No, I do that on other people's lives.
That's right. They're waiting for the roast to begin.
I do that on other people's shows.
No, for once, I think this is probably the most laid back, friendly, not getting picked on, too much show that I've ever been on.
Well, if I go hard on somebody, I can't get somebody else to come on, so I have to behave.
Oh, Tom told you had to behave, huh?
Yeah. I have to take it easy, and no one else will come on.
You're live. Yep.
What else you got here?
Catfish. Hello, Aaron.
Yeah, I don't see any questions in chat. I think we've been asking them as they come along. I think we're into about 54 minutes.
Yeah.
So I've not got anything else to ask. Seems like I learned a lot about you. Seems like I know you better now, and so.
Well, like I said, I've got some ideas for some other tournaments and stuff coming up, and I think there's one that I'm working on that I think anybody that gets to be a part of it will have quite a bit of fun, and they'll probably hate me at the same time. So
sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely I'm trying to figure out how we do it and keep it fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian B. Now Brian B. is messaging me.
Oh no.
All I seen was something about you're old, and I'm like, whatever.
Oh, Van had a question.
Did you
When
see
are we going to
Betty's
see the
message
new
there on
boat
the
on the
screen?
water?
Yeah, I see it. D's off on Friday, and apparently, I guess they're making plans
Mhm.
without me. Whatever. What did Van's question?
When are we going to see the new boat on the water?
Oh man, it's a great
Dee wants to
question.
know.
J Dog and I think we got most of the water out a while back, and then I put it in storage, and I have not. I can't say I haven't had the time. I just haven't had the want to get it out, because I also want to get, the electronics and the trolley motor for it as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person that if I don't buy something brand new, and I'm not I'm not a mechanically inclined person.
Mhm.
If I break down out there by myself, I'm going to be extremely frustrated, and I need to have some way to get,
Yeah.
back to at least somewhere safe,
Mhm.
especially on a big river, and I don't want to float down into the, barge traffic area and can't do nothing,
Mhm.
So,
Okay. Well,
so
I
Van,
know I know you're starting to get tired. I know you're getting a little sick.
well, I did take a nap earlier, so that helped.
Mhm.
But
I
it's just,
appreciate you coming on, especially short notice.
oh, not a problem. I'm glad you guys asked.
Yeah. Tom, you got something?
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom. LG
Yeah,
Tomcat.
I'd just like to. Well, who knows how that's going to end up. I'm closing in on my drive for 365.
Yeah.
I'm up to 347. So 18 more fish to go to make my goal. So, but it's getting cold here, cold fast. And the other night I was
bite.
down on the dock after. Well, there's fish bite, but the dock is getting kind of dangerous because it's getting ice on it from the water and the cold. And the other night I caught a fish, and 20 minutes later I caught another fish, and I got the rod in one hand and I reached for the net, and the net was stuck to the dock.
No.
So I'm trying to pull the net off the dock without ripping it to shreds, and so that we didn't fish last winter on the dock, so this was kind of new to me. It's like, wow, this might not be all that safe. So I'm going to try to do some daytime fishing and see what happens.
Yeah, other than maybe taking a little bit of sand or something down there, I'm not sure what you could really do to keep it gritty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, we'll play it by ear. I'm going to try to make a big push to get it done before the end of the year.
well,
As I said, I don't want to be sitting out there on New Year's Eve,
Mhm.
with my rod in my hand, just sitting there staring out at my watch,
Yep.
So I'm going to hope to get it done. But
Well, I wish you luck.
yeah, we appreciate you coming on with us.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Thank
And,
everybody in
we'll
chat.
see what next year brings.
That's right.
Yep.
Appreciate
We've
everybody
had
watching.
still
everybody in
33
chat.
people holding tight.
Yeah.
Awesome crowd.
Yep. I'd like to
It was
say
nice
happy
talking to you.
Thanksgiving to all. What's that, Jody? I talked over you.
I talked over you. I've done that quite a bit tonight. I'm sorry. I said it's nice talking to him,
No,
and we'll get off and let him get some rest. I might need a little rest myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to go in the same spot.
Yeah. Tom's down too.
But
We're all
yes,
three
thanks
sick.
once again. And yep. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And if you're out on the roads, please be safe out there.
Mhm.
We were out this morning in Durham, and we came around a corner, and they had 10 state troopers lined up, and they were just pulling one right after another. The first trooper would pull out and grab one. The next guy, they just kept moving forward. It was like a rotating line. I said, nope, I'm staying at the speed limit. There ain't no place I got to be at any time soon.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, y'all, thanks. Like I said, thanks again
everybody.
for having me on there.
Oh, we appreciate you coming on.
Mhm.
Right.
All right. Goodbye.
All right, Jody, anything? All right, it's the hour there, and you promised us an hour, and we're gonna let it go with that. And we'll be watching you tomorrow night.
All right, buddy. You guys take care. Happy Thanksgiving to your families and yourself.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. All right, good night, all.